We're here on Long Island and we're at the beach at low tide because we're digging up some soft shell clams. There we go. So that is a Long Island steamer. Now for you guys out on the West Coast, this is like a miniature gooey duck or a horseneck clam. But for us, this is the closest thing we got and it's absolutely amazing. So something very important as you're digging around is to fill up your holes that you dug, just out of respect to the beach. But you go around and you look and there's these little air holes and you dig just behind them. And the hope is that you come up with a clam. So as you're walking around, there's all these little holes. And that should be, hopefully, a clam. And you want to dig just behind that hole. And the hope is that there is a clam there. The hope is that there's 2 or 3. But as you're digging down, the minute they feel that, they're digging down. There you go. So it's pretty amazing that something as small as a clam could outrun you. There we go. Another way that people find them is you walk around and you stomp, and when a little stream of water comes out, that's them trying to dig down. And that's a good way to spot them too, because just because there's the little air hole there doesn't mean that you're going to come up with a clam. Good one. So as I was filling in the hole on this one, I completely missed the fact that I dug this guy up. There we go. Found a pretty good spot over here. Been getting lucky, so let's see. So the other thing is, when you find the hole, you don't want to dig right on top of the hole. You dig behind it, because what you're seeing is sometimes they can be a little bit askew like this because of the tide. So typically they're going to be, if you see the hole a little bit this way considering the tide coming in, and if you go straight down, you'll hit them, and it's an incredibly fragile shell, so you'll crack it. So it's good to dig about 10 inches behind and then lift up like I just did, and you'll get an intact steamer. My back is taking about all it can. Maybe a longer shovel next time. But we got probably a little over a dozen in there. Got a good amount. We're gonna go rinse them down by the water here. So one of the big problems that people have with steamers is that you steam them, you dip them in water, and then you bite into them and they're full of sand and grit in that little siphon, the foot. And that's why people tend to not really want them or go for them. So what we're gonna do is steam them off, and then we're gonna cut that siphon open to clean out all of the grit and sand. And then we are going to make clam Auguachile. I could definitely think of worse ways to spend a morning here in early spring. Another quick point here on Long Island, you have to check each town to see what the regulations are. It doesn't just fall under your fishing permit or fishing license. You have to check what all the clamming rules are. Each town has something different. And on top of that, you have to check the DEC shellfish mapper, which will tell you if there's any immediate closures or anything like that. So we're coming up on the end of season, and just because it's in season doesn't mean it's open. They might close it after doing a water test, so you have to check that stuff. Obviously got our clams at the beach, so it feels fitting to cook them at the beach. So I have here just water. We're gonna get this up to a boil, and then we'll put our clams over them in a steaming basket and steam them open. It takes about 5-10 minutes. While my water is coming up to a boil, we are going to get everything ready for our aguachile. So I have here 1 garlic clove, and this is all getting blended, so we don't really need to dice too much here. And just about 1 cucumber. As you saw, it just had the end cut off of it. Have a serrano pepper. We're gonna see just how spicy it is. Give it a quick taste. Woo! That's spicy. That is a spicy one. So we're gonna take from the end because I want the spice. So just that will be plenty. And we can always add more later, but we can't take it out. Healthy amount of cilantro. I'm gonna do 2 of these skinnier scallions. the juice of 1 lime. We'll start with 1. We might have to add more, but we'll start with 1. Then a bit of garlic salt. And not necessary, but totally necessary, I have my QUINTALIZA tequila, so we're gonna put about 1 ounce of that in. Let's call it 2 ounces. And for everyone, every time I have this on the channel, you guys ask about it. It's in the description. You can get a bottle if you can't find it in a store near you. It is the best tequila you will ever have in your life. I'm not just saying that. So you might have asked, Will, how are you gonna blend that Auguachile? Well, something I just learned about the Toyota Tacoma is that it has an outlet here in the back. There you go. All right, we'll give that a quick taste for any seasoning or anything. More lime. Everything else in there is fantastic. Seasoning's great. The heat on it is perfect, not over the top. I just want a little more acidity. For anyone watching that's worried about the fact that I tasted on the spoon and put it back in, it's just me eating, so it's okay. Perfection. This is going to be for garnish on top of our clams. We just have some Fresno chili that will slice nice and thin, and then a shallot that we're gonna slice thin and actually keep raw. Alright, I got a wind guard set up here. We got some steam going, so we're gonna throw these on. Like I said, that'll take about 5-10 minutes. We'll just check them when the shells get nice and wide. Once the clams are done steaming, I'm actually going to reserve that water because we're going to clean them. We're going to split the siphon, clean out any sand or grit, and then we're going to rinse them back in that water just to make sure they're super clean and that there's no sand in any bite of food. Let's take a look. Okay, so like a lot of clams, they cook at different speeds. So like this guy's done. Once they're open like that, they're finished. So we can take him out. This one also finished. But any of the ones that are still closed like this, we're gonna leave them in a little bit longer. So the majority of the grit is going to be in the siphon here. So if you cut off the end, that's where a lot's going to be. You can see the 2 holes there are where it's going to hold a lot of sand sometimes. These look pretty good though. To show you again, you take off the sheath there. Take out our clam. clean out some of the larger shells, because that's what we're gonna plate these guys in. Just get any little bits of sand and everything off of these. I think that'll do it. And these, we go right back into the water. Okay. Some of our chopped up clam in each shell. Okay, now healthy amount of our Auguachile. And our cut up Fresno peppers. And our sliced shallots. And one last thing, we're gonna put just a little bit of avocado on each. Alright guys, there is our Auguachile Long Island Sound steamers. Let's eat. I'm also gonna pour myself a little drink here. Just a touch. I know we were clamming early in the morning, but it's afternoon here now. There we go. All right, let's taste the fruits of our labor here. Now, normally, I would want this dish to be pretty much ice cold. Right now, they're not ice cold, but they're pretty close. We actually have a little bit of a cool spring day here, but I'm not mad about it. That is really good. Even with everything on top of there, the clam flavor still comes through. Auguachile might be one of my favorite things for seafood. Like if you do shrimp, you could even do lobster in it, but you can put raw fish, cooked fish. It's just a really, really nice sauce that doesn't overpower. It's nice and bright. It is delicious. Cheers. All right. I could eat probably about 50 of these. I'm gonna hammer the rest of these. Thanks for coming along on this adventure. What an amazing, amazing resource here on Long Island to be able to just go in the morning, dig up a couple of these. I was there for maybe like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. But to dig up a dozen clams, then head out and be able to cook them with this in the background, just unreal. Long Island is really a special, special place. But again, thanks for coming along on the adventure, and I'll see you on the next one.